And we're back with some more oxygen not included on Rime on this very, very, very well developed map. At this point, I was trying to decide what to do next, and the general consensus was either, do something crazy like melt this. Well, my plan was to melt down all of this, extract all the water, and then fill the whole place with magma. Maybe do a regolith melter, make some magma, that kind of stuff. But this rocket chimney is kind of annoying me. It it works sort of, but it keeps overheating and shutting down, and rockets have to stop. And I mean, it worked okay for a prototype, but I really just want to sort of do it right. So I think I am. I just until I've finished this, it just will niggle at me. So what I want to do is get this rocket silo and make it functional. To do that, though, we're going to have to make a proper rocket silo in a proper area. So what I want to do is make an actual. This one's too small. It's just too small, too puny, and in the wrong corner. I need it in the middle so I can get access to both sides of it. So I'm thinking maybe install a larger, bigger, more industrious one, say double the power output and double the water output at least, and get something reasonable out of it as opposed to this, which is just it's just not good enough. Otherwise, it's just going to annoy me. I normally like to perfect the designs, so I'm thinking I was going to put one right here instead, put it straight up the center of the map, all the way to the top. Now, this will mean I'm going to have to use a mod to get rid of this neutronium here. There's was it a polluted oxygen vent? Yeah, infectious polluted oxygen vent that, well, no one ever uses those. I'm going to be okay with deleting that, but fair warning, I will be using something to get rid of that because otherwise it's going to get in the way. And yeah, that will be it, though this will require me to do a few things. One, I'm going to have to rip out the base, and two, I'm going to have to rip out the farms. So I'm going to make an extremely condensed base over here. We're going to compress everything down, remove all the nice stuff. Maybe I'll give them like another 100 cycles of this. Maybe I'll run 100 cycles back. I'm just, let them have some fun first. Enjoy it. Actually, no, they've already had plenty of fun. They're fine. I've paid my karmic debt on the morale front. So yeah, that's the plan. New base over here, giant rocket silo down the middle, and we're going to make a big industrial size one. Since we have plenty of time to plan this out and we have all the technology available to us, we're still going to go with something incredibly simple. Lots and lots of bunk beds. 8, 16, 24, that's 48 bunks, which means we'll be able to hire 8 more dupes, which we're going to need because we're going to have to launch an awful lot more rockets with this improved chimney. Yeah, 8 more dupes should help. Maybe I should do another 8. Nope. We'll leave it at that. Now we just got to do... we got to do dining and cooking and everything like that as well. At the same time, we're going to use pedestals here, and we're going to start using all those space artifacts that we have picked up along the way. Why not? Seems like a good idea. You know what? I could probably cram in more space if I cram down those artifacts to only 2 tiles high. I mean, yeah. What am I doing here? I'm doing this old school instead of doing this new school. Yeah, I think we can make this a much smaller, more compact, more efficient base if I do that. There we go. By squeezing up the bedrooms and making them 3 tiles high, we're able to get a lot more bang for our buck out of these pedestals. It just, because of the shortened radius, it means the pedestals can reach further. And if I keep everything 3 tiles high, will they be able to reach down far enough? You see, some of these are terrible. For example, say the Moldavite here, it has a radius of 6. However, say something like a stethoscope has a radius of 9. So we could take something like that, and because it has a radius of 9 tiles, we could say place one here. And it will be positioned there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it'll reach all 8 tiles. Well, all it has to do is reach that many. And we'll get that far. You know what? No, not quite. That'll be 11 tiles. But 9 tiles gets it as far as there, which means it will affect those 2 rooms. However, if we go down, it'll also go 9 tiles down. So if we make these rooms 1, 2, 3 and make this one 1, 2, 3, will it hit it? Ooh, you know what? I don't know if it will. It depends if the decor starts from inside of the... what the hell do you call these things? The pedestal. If it starts inside the pedestal, or if it's classified as being just one above it. Little bit of testing done here, and yeah, they reached in exactly 9 tiles from there. Where is it? Oh, yes, here. So, grab that. It goes from here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So right down to there. And it reaches exactly... Ooh, sorry, down to here. So 9 tiles beneath where it starts. So 10 tiles to the... Ooh, 1 tile outside it, so 10 down. We might be able to do some ridiculous stuff here. I mean, we're not really bound by the laws of reality anymore. Let's just start messing around and maybe see just exactly how compact we can make this base of ours. So this is the power of, well, artifacts. What we've got down here is a universe. What's it called? Yeah, self-contained universe. That one gives a plus 196 decor all the way out. So if you look here, The decor values around here are 198. For everything inside this green box area, 198 decor. Same over here. I've got another self-contained universe. And I think we'll put another one right about there. Might as well. This will overlap with the stairs, meaning anyone who's going through the stairs will get an awful dose. And that's only those 3. It's 198 decor for everyone in this area, all of the floors. Beautiful. Just beautiful. And I think there's one more trick I can do to make this even more ridiculous. But first we gotta fill this in with the rest of the ones we want to use. All of them filled in. I tried to spread it out so that there's good ones interspersed with less slightly good ones. Which, I mean, plus 90 decor over 9 tiles is one of the less good ones. They're the worst ones. The worst ones are 90 decor over 9 tiles. What's I should really look up what a lead statue is. How much was I getting into these? 35 decor over 8 tiles. Oh, just... let's have a quick look. Yeah, we've got, starting over here, 1,134. Peaks at about 2 grand in the middle. Oh, I got to do some changes here. That's got to go. That's got to be replaced with a door. I put these in so we can have airflow, but I think I'm just going to replace them with a door. Same as I did over here. And then we just lock that door so that no one can use it. It cuts down on the weird pathing if you have doors in odd spots. But with the combination of that, we should be able to have some really nice decor in here. And I'm thinking I can do one more tiny, teensy little trick that will make this just a little bit more interesting. This is the little trick. We're going to have hovering, floating decor. We simply deconstructed the bricks beneath the pedestals, and now the pedestals are hovering in midair. I know what you're thinking, that annoying red thing would annoy the bejesus out of you. But there is a suppress mod. Suppress current. Boom. Look. No, it's gone. And not only that, you can hit copy settings. All gone. Clean. Pristine. No worries. Done. Finished. There we have it. At first I thought that was to copy and paste artifact settings, but no, that's to copy the suppress notifications. And now we have still gargantuan amounts of decor, and we've managed to cram in the mess hall right here. I don't know how they're eating with pedestals on top of their heads, but I don't care. I'm trying to make the most compressed base I possibly can because, well, I suppose it hasn't anything in life. Once you start doing something, the urge is to take it as far as you can, feasibly. So that's that done. I need to sort out food, which brings up an even trickier issue. I don't want to be running on sleet wheat now. Sleet wheat and pepper bread take up an awful lot of space if you're going to do natural farming. We need to switch to something more compact. We're trying to make a mini base here. I need a better name than mini base. I think I'm going to end up with too much space, even with here. I mean, just compressing it all down. Bathroom fits in here. We put in the water recycling there. Kitchen in here. And I may have a spare floor for training for the new dupes, maybe. And then down here, some carbon skimmers or something like that. This is working out pretty good. I still haven't decided what type of food I'm going to go with yet. Ugh. Barbecue seems like the simplest one, but then I might have to get into shovels. If I get into shovels, I'll have to start harvesting regolith. I really don't want to go down that route. Let me think some more. I'll come up with a plan. First, I just want to finish this off, and I want to figure out a nice cooking system before I think a decent drop-off system, and I want some way of harvesting the food from the dining hall without having to put in auto sweepers. Lots of things coming back to me on this. This reminds me of the time I tried to do 100 dupe base. I got to about 80 before the computer just couldn't handle it anymore. But that's exactly what's going on here. I ended up with this exact same method of doors. These doors act as both airflow. They're transparent for airflow and decor. So all of the decor was able to shine through, and this effectively is one giant wide tunnel that all the carbon dioxide can go down. I'm making all the rooms 3 tiles high, just out of reflexive habit. I never even mentioned, but I tried making them 2 tiles high before, and yeah, people start suffocating in there and having to wake up in the middle of the night. The reason being airflow is just too terrible if you cut it down to less than 3 tiles. It's possible, but it requires an awful lot more work. Same with the bathrooms. You're able to squeeze them in. It's not so bad. You can also squeeze in atmosphere ducts. You can't put in showers anywhere in here. Showers are 4 tiles tall, which means showers in this base design they're not an option. But that's fine. I don't need those anyway. And for food, we are going to be going with frost burgers because frost burgers are the most cost-efficient or space-efficient food source you can get. You simply take barbecue. You combine it with some lettuce and I want to say frost buns. Frost buns? Yes. Lettuce, frost buns, and barbecue, all 3 combined, and you get a calorie bonus for putting them together that way, and it all works out quite nicely. So, yep, that was what I went with the 100 dupe base as well. So yes. Will I do wild planting? I'm not sure. My rocket silo is going to be going up right through here. That's going to be the center of it. So pretty much this entire thing is going to be obliterated. Between the rocket silo and the cooling on either side, yeah, this whole area is gone. So I can't keep any of this. So I'll have to make a farm over here. I'll do that off screen. I think, I'm going to do a big jump forward while I can just get a bunch of this grind out of the way in the background. And I think I've come up with an idea for the name. How about Pocket Base? A pocket base? Like Pocket Battleship, not Pocket Battleship. Yeah, like Pocket Battleship, you've got a pocket base. Yeah, just see how small and compressed you can make a good-sized base. One with about 30 or 40 duplicates in it. Anyway, I think we'll jump forward quite a bit right now. Many changes have been made. Firstly, well, just to cover some numbers here, we have 48 beds, we have 48 mess tables, we have 48 Atmosuit docks, 4 toilets. Okay, 4 toilets. Yes, I can imagine what you're thinking. It's going to be like, a third world restroom in, some sort of high throughput airport. But it should be fine. It should be fine. Food-wise, I've come a change in plan. I've decided I'm just going to go straight barbecue. Reason being, well, I started crunching the numbers. I figured I gave myself infinite water and infinite space resources. I could keep harvesting stuff from space. But I kept coming back to problems. If I tried to grow sleet wheat, I'd just actually pay the water cost and all that. It'd take me 25 plants to do what I wanted to do. That was fine, but then I'd have to have lettuce to go with it for the frost burgers, and I can't grow that because that requires bleachstone, and bleachstone is non-renewable. Well, unless you want to use a chlorine geyser, but I don't want to use chlorine geysers. I only want to use what I can get renewable from space. That meant, yeah, that was off the cards. I couldn't use anything that involved lettuce. I could use bristle blossoms, but I'd need 130 or so to feed 48 dupes. So eventually I realized I could just use shovels, and we're going to use a method called, well, starvation farming. I think that's what it's called. What you do is you take a shovel, you groom it, you do it up, all that, and then it lays an egg. And say we'll drop the egg in here into this ranch. Then what happens is the shovel hatches, 5 cycles later it becomes an adult, at which point it has enough calories that even though you're grooming it, it'll survive, I think, 7 or 8 days before it runs out of calories. During that time, you can groom it enough that it will drop an egg. Then it will run out of calories and, well, starve. But that does mean that by the time it's about 11 or 12 cycles old, it will have dropped its first egg. Combine that with its 20 cycles it takes for the egg to hatch, you're looking at about 31, say 30, well, technically 31, but we're going to say 33 just to round it up to something and be covered on numbers. So every 33 cycles, you'll get an egg drop out of them. Of course, only one, meaning they'll just only hit replacement rate. Work doing some numbers, quick calculator. It means if I have about 80 shovels, I can keep 48 duplicates in barbecue forever. And that's just with me grooming them, not actually feeding them anything. These over here are the wild ones that I've got left over. I'm just keeping those for a seed population in case anything goes horribly wrong, because, things go horribly wrong. But that gives us a completely self-contained food source that fits into this area right here. Of course, I will have to breed up 80 shovels, which is why this is over here. I've dumped in a whole bunch of regolith. I've got a lot of... this started off as 3 shovels, and then I just let it run for a few hours while I was off doing some things. And boom, we're now up to about 54 critters. Once that hits out about 80 or so, I'll just start I'll turn this on, and that will start sucking out all the eggs and dumping them over here. We'll end up at a little bit more than 80, but so long as we keep grooming them, they'll never expire, and all the meat from them we can harvest, and we can just dump right over here into our cook area. Cook area is a little bit different. Yeah, when it came to doing the cook area, I still had to worry about them dropping food on the floor. That still annoys me. So how do I deal with that without having the space to put in the auto sweepers like we did over here? Where was it? Yeah, the game's a bit chuggish. There's a lot going on right now. Yeah, there's these auto sweepers. They're to pick up the food that gets dropped on the ground occasionally and dump it back in. Some people were saying, why not just use lights? Well, it turns out those light patch notes were to do with duplicates eating. If you have lights on duplicates, they'll eat faster, which is great. Downside is there was a problem with the patch where they'd eat faster, but they didn't get the calories. So they actually ended up getting shorted on their calories, even though because they were eating too fast. That got patched, not them dropping the food on the floor. I don't know why they dropped the food on the floor. Still haven't figured that out. But to resolve that problem, what I've done is I've included a fridge. Just introduced a fridge to the equation. So barbecue gets dropped off here by the cooks. That barbecue gets picked up by the autosweeper and stocked into this fridge. Perfect. And that fridge is just in range of that autosweeper. And duplicates cannot get past that door, by the way. So since they can't get past that door, they can't get in here and grab the barbecue or any of the raw meat. That means I'm going to put this fridge here. this fridge is going to be set for barbecue as well, but on one lower priority than this fridge. I mean, this fridge will always be full and this fridge will always be empty unless there's barbecue out around the map somewhere, in which case my duplicates will pick it up and put it in the fridge right here, which I'm going to actually pay the power cost for. I know, sacrilege, absolute sacrilege. But that way, any loose barbecue that ends up around the place should end up in there. Well, I haven't of course tested this yet. We haven't even filled the base. But that should work. That should take care of all of that annoying problem. Using duplicate labor, no automation, and keep the base nice and compact. What I'm going for here is the smallest, most compact mega base. Yep, new name for it, I'm thinking. How about the micro mega base? Or micro mega base. Two ill-defined terms combined together to make an even more ill-defined term. I think it suits. For the plumbing system. Very simply, I'm not even going to use any kind of reserve flow tanks or anything here. This is just going to be a straight-through system because it will be active a lot. I'm going to have a poke shell dumped in here and have them eat the off-gas polluted dirt. The polluted dirt will get eaten and the poke shell will excrete sand, which, well, will then get fed back into the water sieve or the deodorizer. Whichever, we don't care. But you get about 50% of your sand back, which is kind of nice. Well, 50% of the dirt comes back as polluted sand. It doesn't quite work out. Never mind. Anyway, so far, that's everything I've done in the background. I've made a few minor changes here as well, just to where the exits are going to be. I had to move the liquid locks, but this will be the main entrance. I still love that this is all the food. Like, this will be the entire food supply for 48 duplicates will all be coming out of an area this tiny with 0 inputs. Yes, that's a little bit exploitative. Yes, I would normally not use this, but I'm trying to sort of cram in the smallest space I possibly can. Next up, though, is going to be, I'm going to have to throw in a couple of Rodriguez's back here. Electrolyzers, just for oxygen supply. So a couple of full Rodriguez's and a cooling solution. I want to build in a cooling solution as well, and that should be the entire base ready. Well, okay, put in some liquid locks and a few things like that. We'll make a nice little self-contained micro mega base. Anyway, I'll skip this forward a bit more because, I've got to wait about another 50 or so cycles and this is done. So I'm going to the shops. I got to get food for the week. So I'll go to the shops, come back, and when we're finished, I think we'll have some more oxygen and this base should be ready to be activated. Maybe went a tiny little bit over on the shovels. We're up to 108. Should have stopped at 80, but honestly, I wasn't here to catch it. These ones up here, I've just disabled the grooming stations. We'll leave them there. Maybe we'll need them for emergencies or... maybe let's not look at that as that happens. That won't be pleasant. That'll give us a little stockpile of meat to start. Okay, oxygen time. This will be our 2 Rodriguez setups. Should produce 6 kilos of oxygen. Well, just a tad under 6 kilos of oxygen. Each one of them is going to be fed into 8 of the Atmosuit docks, so we should have plenty of excess oxygen to work with. I always do like a little bit of a safety margin. Now, I'm doing something a little bit non-optimal. Normally what I would do is I'd just make a cooling loop and I'd cool the whole base, and then I wouldn't care about the oxygen. The oxygen will get cooled along with everything else. But in this, I'm going to cool all the oxygen in here. It's all going to pass through this sort of ice box right here with radiant pipes. And all of the oxygen that passes through right here will get cooled down. And then I'm going to run those pipes through the base. Just igneous rock pipes for now to see if it helps. And that should regulate the temperature of the base. If it doesn't, we can sort something out. But I just wanted to try something slightly non-standard for this. Over here, though, this is quite messy. This here is going to be the pipe that extracts the hydrogen from the 2 Rodriguez's and sends them off that direction. I also didn't make everything out of gold amalgam this time. I cancelled the construction of the electrolyzers and switched everything over to steel. Namely because I'm running out of gold amalgam. I think I turned too much of it into, where is it, metal ores? We have 1 ton of gold amalgam. I turned all the rest of it into gold. My bad. I needed a lot of gold to make supercoolant. I've only got 13 tons of this stuff left. Okay, mistakes. Mistakes were made. Over here, we've got our, hopefully, meat farm up and running. They should start churning out meat as they... Let's see, let's grab an adult. Shovelful, ILTM. Right, they are 6. That means they've been, for 1 year, they have been chugging along as normal. And you'll see their calories are 4,800. That's how many they consume in a cycle. So we should get, if I do the math on this, 7.5 cycles. So they should survive for 7.5 cycles before they run out of calories, which should be enough time at 17% reproduction a cycle for them to drop an egg. I think they're already a cycle old at that point. Then they'll starve and turn into meat, at which point we will take the meat. They don't eat meat, do they? Oh, please tell me they don't eat meat. That would be, yeah, regolith, dirt, and iron ore. So they won't eat each other's bodies, plus the scooper there will, or the auto sweeper will whip away the meat. The meat gets dumped over here, and when it's time to cook, you know what, let's just turn on one of these now. And then when it's time to cook, this picks up the meat from here where it's chopped off, delivers it into the grill. Grill cooks it up, and then when the grill is finished cooking it, it gets dumped across on this rail here and gets dropped down into this spot. Simple, efficient, all the food you need for 48 dupes. Well, actually, we can ignore those last few sections. They're just to keep my wild shovels alive. There's going to be a hell of a lot more skipping forward. I've still got tons of construction to do on this. Plus, there's all the piping. Then I got to power it and all that. But this should be a fairly compact base. I mean, when you look at it here, just this section here, you can ignore. Give me a cutting tool. Yeah, like say right about here. This is the entire base, and it's going to house 48 duplicants, provide them with their oxygen and their food. The only thing that's missing is the water supply and the power. But, you know, I think that's a pretty compact looking sucker. Anyway, I think I'm going to have to cut this out here. I'm running out of time, and yeah, I'm just running out of time. This base, though, really does epitomize what I like about optimization in this game. When this comes down to it, all of the dupes will only be getting +1 morale from the cots, +2 from the bathrooms, +6 from the Great Hall. Those rooms are Great Halls. So they're going to get the Great Hall bonus, barracks bonus, and a bathrooms bonus. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9. So they get 9 morale points just from that. Then they're going to get +12. They will get +12 from the decor. The decor is just ridiculous. So 9 and 12, so it's 21 points of morale, plus another 8 from the barbecue. That means they'll have 29 points of stable morale. I've never went above that point. You'll look here, everyone's here is about 21, 24. 21 to 24 is about as high as I'll go. So that means everyone should be stable on a base this small. You could install showers, you can install all those other things, but they cost time and effort. Your dupes will always come back to use the bathrooms. They will always come back to go to sleep. They will always come back to eat. All of these things, all of these morale bonuses that we're getting here don't require them to change their schedule or work different hours or take any time out of their day. It's all stuff they're going to do already. We've just crammed the morale in there, and with that, you can get enough to survive the game. Anyway, we'll cut this out here. When we come back, I should hopefully have this functional and good to go. Hope you enjoyed, and good luck.